Hello friends, welcome to your channel RG Geometrics. In today's lecture, we will study about the principle of GPS operation and about the GPS signal structure. Because we know that GPS signal structure consists frequencies and two codes and the navigation message. And we will also compare about the two codes which are the C by A code and P code. Means course acquisition code and precision code. Means what are their significance of using that codes and what types of code are continuously transmitted and are transmitted by each satellite. So we will know in this lecture on what principle of the GPS works. And as we have studied in the previous lecture about the different components or segments of the GPS, and three types of segment: space segment, which consists satellites, another is the control segment, which consists monitor stations and the master control station, and third one was the user segment, which consists the GPS receivers. But the principle of GPS operation is very important to understand, and we know that the principle of GPS operation consists the trilateration concept. So what is this trilateration concept? We will study in this lecture. So if we talk about the navigation or positioning about any point on the earth surface, so if we considering and handling a GPS instrument, say mobile phone, then we can easily find out our location at any point on the earth surface. So we can easily share our location to anyone with the help of GPS, because this GPS uses a basic concept of the trilateration. Means it utilizes the basic geometric principle which allows the computing a location with the help of satellites that are revolving around the earth surface or earth at an altitude of approximately 20,200 km. We have studied about that in the previous lecture in the space segment. And what is the orbital period? Approximately 12 hours. And their inclination with the equator. So we all these things have studied in the previous lecture. But what is the trilateration? It is the basic phenomenon or concept which are used by the GPS satellites for determining the position on any point of any point on the earth surface. So as in the unit 1, we have studied that we can easily calculate the distance between the GPS receiver and the GPS satellites. So this distance calculation is done with by the three satellites, minimum three satellites for the three unknowns, means x, y, z, which is the 3D positioning of any point on the earth surface. So for that position calculation x, y, z, we need to find out three distances from three different satellites, and there is one another component of the time, so we require minimum four satellites for knowing the position very accurately. And after calculating this distance between the GPS receiver and the GPS satellite, and we should also know the GPS satellites locations, means their coordinate, or we can say their ephemeris data, for knowing our 3D positioning. And this distance calculation are used by the GPS receiver to find out our unknown position. So this distance calculation concept is known as the trilateration concept, which are used by the GPS. So we will study and we will see the how this distance are used for the position calculation in upcoming lecture. But today the principle or basic concept of trilateration, we have understand that we require the distance between the user and the satellites and the location information of those satellites, because we will study this distance is calculated with the help of velocity of the signal into the time information that are included in the signal. So this distance is calculated, and after this distance the x1 minus x1 x minus x1 square plus y minus y1 square plus z minus z1 square का under root. So this x, y, z is the unknown position, and x1, y1, z1 is the coordinate information or orbital information of the satellite. So we require this distance and the x1, y1, z1, and minimum from the three satellites for calculating the x, y, z, and another is the T we will see in the upcoming lecture, but today we have understand that the principle of the GPS operation. So GPS receiver should know the information to calculate our location. One is the precise location or of the 4 satellites, means from which it is calculating the distance. So those satellite information should be known very precisely, and another information, the distance between you, or we can say the GPS receiver, from the 3 satellites. So for calculating our location, we should require these 2 information, which are very important. Now each GPS satellite continuously transmit a radio wave, microwave radio signal, which is composed of 2 carrier waves or 2 carrier frequencies, 2 codes, and 1 navigation message. 2 carrier frequencies are L1 and L2. We will see in a tabular form, means what range or what frequency these waves has, and 2 codes, C by A and P code. So we will study today. And a navigational message. This navigation message is considering the location information of the satellite that are required, which we are talking for calculating our location. So what is the operation of the GPS? When we switch on our GPS receiver, it picks up the GPS signal through the receiver antenna. So once the receiver acquires the GPS signal, it will process using its inbuilt software, because we know that software continuously transmits the radio signal. So when we switch on the GPS receiver, it automatically receives the signal and decode it for calculating our unknown position. And that signal consists 2 codes, which are used for calculating the distance between the GPS receiver and the satellite. And another information which are considered consist by the signal is the navigation message, which consists the satellite coordinate information. So only these 2 information are required for calculating our unknown location. So this GPS, in which inbuilt software is already available, decode the signal or calculate our location very precisely. So if we consider a point on the earth surface, and we know the information or distance between these 3 distances from any 3 satellites, then we can easily calculate the unknown position or unknown location information on the earth surface by using the concept of trilateration, because we can assume that the position of this receiver or the unknown point must lie on the surface of an imaginary surface from the distance to one satellite. So if we make a imaginary sphere for this satellite, then it will be considered at is. So similarly, this satellite, we can take the another color. So this satellite has the imaginary surface. Similarly, third satellite will also have the imaginary surface. So the intersection of these 3 points will indicate the unknown coordinate, unknown information that we have to calculate on the earth surface. So we will see the diagram to understand it. But the concept is that every satellite has the imaginary surface on which the unknown position lie on that intersection point. And the sphere of its origin of the satellite has the radius equal to the distance between the user and the satellite. So if we see the diagram, and satellite is considered as the center of the sphere. So the intersection of these 3 spheres will lie on the position of the receiver. So for this satellite, there is one imaginary surface. For another satellite, another imaginary surface, and another satellite, another imaginary surface. So the intersection of these 3 satellites lie on the GPS receiver location. So 4 satellites are used for the receiver's clock offset, and we will also study the concept of the GDOP, means geometric dilution of precision, in the upcoming lecture, because this GDOP should be small for accurate position, and it is similar to these imaginary spheres or the position of the satellites from which the GPS receiver calculate their position. So 4 satellite is must or very requirement for the clock offset for to know our position very accurately. So this is the basic concept of the principle of the GPS, and the GPS trilateration concept is the position which is determined by the at the point where the three spheres intersect. So this is the concept of the trilateration, because this distance is already calculated by the GPS receiver. So whatever the we have discussed the method, we can achieve the 100-meter accuracy for the horizontal component or for the horizontal distance, and 156 meter for the vertical component, and for the time component it was 340 nanosecond. So all these values are on the 95% level of confidence. So this is not a much effective accuracy, but this low accuracy level is due to the effect of selective availability. And what is the selective availability? We have already know that selective availability is the technique which are used for degrading the accuracy to the unauthorized user intentionally by the US, because GPS was developed by the US, so they can easily control GPS timing information, their satellite coordinate information. So they intentionally degrade the accuracy for the unauthorized user, or we can say civilian, because GPS was first developed for the military purpose. But some terrorists or may use this accuracy level, so they can harm. For uh, degrading the accuracy, there is a concept of selective availability. So this technique was used by the US. But when this selective availability was terminated or was removed, then we can achieve the accuracy up to 22 meter for the horizontal component. And what are the information that we can gather from the GPS receivers? One is the location information, means 3D positioning, X, Y or Z concept component, latitude, longitude and elevation we can achieve, three-dimensional coordinate of any point on the earth surface. Then we can also find out the speed, means GPS receiver also displays the speed, or we can say if you use the map in the driving car, then you can easily find the velocity of their car. Basically that is the velocity of the receivers. So for when we are in the motion, we can easily find out the speed with the help of GPS. Then we can easily achieve our direction, means in which direction we are moving, we can easily find out. So another the same example, that map also tell us about the shorter distance and their direction also, left or right, where we should move. So that direction we can find out from the GPS. Then how much time will be taken to reach our destination? So timing information can also be achieved by the GPS receiver, and this information is achieved with the help of atomic clocks that are available on the satellites, because the synchronization of the GPS receiver clock and the satellite clocks must be available, so they can accurately find out our location. And for those synchronization error, timing information, another component of time is find out for which another satellites is required. So minimum 4 satellites are required to know our position very accurately. Now we can also store the location. As you see the map history, you will be able to find out where you have moved or you have gone in past time. So it is very interesting concept of the GPS, because it can store the locations. Now we can achieve the cumulative data, that is what is the average speed, what is the maximum speed, minimum speed, elapsed time, time of arrival. All these things can be achieved by the GPS receiver. As we have understand the concept of selective availability, if we take a glance, so selective availability is the concept that are intentionally degrade the accuracy of the GPS position calculation for the civilian or hostile foreign, which deny us to use the full accuracy of the GPS. So they degrade the accuracy by degrading the or changing the time information slightly of the satellite clocks. So this process is known as the dithering, because we know that the timing information is very important for accuracy or for achieving our location information. So the variation in the time information of the satellite clocks alter our accuracy or degrade our accuracy. So this was the principle of the GPS operation, means how GPS satellites works, or we can find out our location with the help of GPS satellites and receiver. Now we will study about the signal structure, because satellites transmit the signal continuously, but what the signal consists, we already know it consists two frequencies, two codes, and the navigation message. And the codes and frequencies are used for the distance calculation between the GPS receiver and the satellite, and the navigation message consists the coordinate information of the satellites. So this GPS signal structure consists two types of code. One is the C by A code, course acquisition code. Another is the P code, precise code or precision code. And these codes are in the form of binary digits, zeros or ones. So these are basically bits or chips. And we know that these codes are used for the distance calculation, we can say range, between the GPS receiver and the satellite. And it may consist some error. It basically consists some error. So this is known as the pseudo random noise. Means it is the distance between the receiver and satellite, and it may consist some error. So it is known as a pseudo range. But these codes are commonly known as the PRN. So this concept is very important, because pseudo random noise may look like the random or noise like signals. So these codes are generally developed by the mathematical algorithm. Now we will study about the different two types of codes. First one is the C by U code. So this C by A code is the type of signal that the GPS unit receive, means that are transmitted by the satellites. And this C by A code is sent on the L1 band frequency, because we know that there are two types of frequency. One is the L1 and another is the L2 frequency. And in this paragraph we will study the basic or important information about the C by A code that are very important for the exam purpose. You must have to learn it or keep in mind, because C by A code is sent only on the L1 frequency, which has the range of 1575.42 megahertz. And this C by A code, course acquisition code, broadcasts the standard positioning service, means SPS. We will study about the SPS and PPS in the next unit. Next section about the positioning service. There are two types of positioning service. One is the standard positioning service and another is the precise positioning service. So SPS is broadcasted by the C by A code, and this C by A code is very easily jammed by the US military, because they can easily jam or spoof the C by A code, so they can degrade the accuracy for the civilian purpose. So the advantage of C by A code is that it is very quicker to use for acquiring satellite data and getting an initial position fixed. And when we compare the C by A code accuracy with the P code, then it is very less accurate than the P code. And C by A code is a stream of 1023 binary digits, that is 1023 zeros and ones, which repeats itself every millisecond. So we can say that it has the chipping rate of 1.023 Mbps. We will also study about the P code, and then we will compare these two types of code that are very important for the exam purpose. So the C by A code has the 1.023 Mbps chipping rate, and we can say that the duration for the one bit is approximately 1 microsecond, or equivalent to 300 meter. So all the information that are given in this paragraph related to C by E code, you should have to learn or keep in mind. If we want to compare it with the P code, all the points will be different for the P code. So if P code is the precision code and P code is very highly precise or provide the very highly precise location information of any point, and it is very difficult for the US military to jam and spoof the P code because it has the encrypted form of the data, which is known as a Y code. So there are special receivers that can access the information of the P code, because satellites transmit the P code, but all the receiver cannot receive the P code or decode it to know the position, because there are special receiver which are used for decoding the P code, and it gives the very precise location. So it is basically used by the US military, and this P code signal is broadcasted at both frequencies, L1 band and L2 band. L1 band we know 1575.42 MHz, and L2 band is at the 1227.6 MHz. We will see in these two types of frequency in the table. And military code M code is also available at two frequencies, but P code broadcasts the PPS, means precise positioning service. We know that the SPS is broadcasted with the help of C by code, but P code broadcasts the PPS, precise positioning service. And this P code repeat itself in the 266 days. So we can say that it has the 10.2s Mbps chips rate, that is 10 times greater than the C by A code, because that has the 1.023 Mbps, but this C by A code has the 1.023 Mbps, but P code has the 10.23 Mbps rate. So it has the repetition of the on the 260 day long code. So it is divided into 38 segments, that is each one is 1 week long. So 38 into 7 is the 266 days. So in the 38 segments, 32 segments are assigned to the various GPS satellites. That is, each satellite transmits a unique 1 week segment of the P code, because one segment is 1 week long. So every satellite transmits 1 week long P code, which are initialized in the Saturday Sunday midnight crossing. And another reserved, or we can say remaining 6 segments are the reserved for other users, because there are the repetition of 266 days, and these are divided into 38 segments, that is 1 week long of the P code. And in the 38 segment, there are 32 segments which are assigned to each satellite, and that are updated on every Saturday Sunday midnight week, updated or initialized in the Saturday Sunday midnight crossing, and remaining 6 segments are used for the reserve purpose. As the P code provide us the very high accuracy of the location information, so this P code is generally used for the military and was designed for the military purpose. Now it was available to all users until 31/1994. P code was encrypted by adding to it an unknown W code. This encryption is known as the anti-spoofing. So this W code is also important because it can be asked in the exam. So this generates the concept of anti-spoofing. Means the P code is encrypted by adding the unknown W code, which are not decoded by all the GPS users. So this encryption is known as the anti-spoofing. Now if we compare these two types of code, C by E code and P code, then we know that C by E code is modulated on L1 carrier or L1 band only, but P code can be modulated on both L1 and L2 carriers. Similarly, P code is the biphase modulation, because it has the carrier phase which is shifted by 180 degree. That is, code value are changed from the 0 to 1 or from 1 to 0. So this is the biphase modulation. And each satellite is assigned with a unique CBI code, that is, which are profitable for GPS receivers, so they can easily find out the satellite with a different particular CBI code. So we can say that every satellite transmits CBI code, on which basis GPS receiver identify their satellites. And we know that CBI code measurements are very less precise than the P code, and CBI code is less complex and is available to all users. So it does not require any specific GPS receiver, but P code has the specific receiver, and P code has the very long sequence of binary digits which repeats itself in 266 days, and we has the breakup of all these 266 days, like 38 segments, in which 32 segments are assigned to the satellites and 6 are reserved for other uses. And P code is also 10 times faster than the CBI code because it has a 10.23 Mbps chip rate. So we identify the CBI code and P code, and all the information which are useful we have studied. Now we will talk about the anti-spoofing. So it is similar to the selective loyalty because it denies the civilians to use the P code for by the GPS receivers to know to find out the position very accurately. But the intendant of the W code is assigned with the P code, so it is used only by the military, or we can say US military, for knowing the accurate or position with the high accuracy. So it defeats the deception jamming through encryption. Encryption is with the help of W code to the military signals. So it denies the civilian and hostile power to access the P code part of the GPS signals. And what is the pseudo random noise, PRN? So the codes are actually the pseudo random noise because it is the group of binary sequence that appear to be randomly distributed like noise. So these are exactly distributed because the distance calculated between the GPS receiver and satellites have some error which are known as the pseudo range, and that are calculated with the help of these two types of codes. Now jam and spoof, it is the broadcast false signal to mislead the receiver. Means it does not block the information but it misleads the receiver, so he calculates the position inaccurately. Now another structure, or we can say signal, consists the navigation message, and this navigation message is the data stream which added the L1 and L2 carrier frequencies as the binary biphase modulation. So this navigation message consists important information, and it also contains the coordinates of the GPS satellites as a function of time, that is their health and their status, their clock correction, satellite almanac, and atmospheric data. So all these information are carried out by the navigation message. So this navigation message also included in the signal data transmitted by the satellite. So each satellite transmits its own navigation message with information on the other satellites, such as approximately location and their health status. So each satellite transmit different navigation message because every satellite has different orbital period, their coordinate information, their health status. So for every satellite it is different, so navigation message is also different for every satellite. Now these are the two types of carrier frequencies. L1 has the frequency of 1575.42 MHz, and these are transmitted broadcasted by the CBI code or P code. Means both P code and CBI code carry the L1 band. and P code has only L2 band. So we can say C by A code carry L1 band, but P code carry L1 and L2 band. So this is all about the signal structure of the GPS and the principle of the GPS operation. So if you have any doubt in today's lecture, you can comment us, and for the quizzes and notes you can join us on Telegram and WhatsApp channel. Please like, share and subscribe the channel, and you can find the link of Telegram and WhatsApp channel in video description. So do the preparation of GATE geometrics with the RU Geometrics.